This is the Tom Bigby Tales, and I'm your host, Shannon Evans. I write about a small town in northeast Mississippi on the Tom Bigby River called Columbus. And sometimes I write about the rest of the state. This is episode 17 in a Heritage Academy expose. It is titled, It Was a Very Merry Faculty Party. I had planned to take the day off from writing and continue researching the next episode of this podcast expose. And then the adults at Heritage Academy practically wrote my next episode for me yesterday. Holy cow, do they even think before they act? Where do I even start on this episode? If half of what I have learned is true about the culture of drinking among the administration and some of the faculty at that school, then there's a much bigger problem than what I previously surmised. Yikes. Last night was the annual school faculty staff Christmas party. It's normally attended by faculty, administrators, and various staff members. However, typically the board does not attend. Some years a board member will appear to thank the faculty for their hard work, maybe pass out some gift certificates, etc. But as a rule, this has always been a time for faculty and staff to gather off campus for a fun evening together. Several guests were alleged to be well in their cups at this year's event. This year, allegedly, the board was present as well for this event. I've been told by multiple sources that the entire board appeared to be present and circulating the room and reassuring folks that all was well, despite this podcast presenting evidence to the contrary. Now that's interesting. Even more interesting is that I've been told that the head of schools, Sean Harrison, and his employee wife, Brittany Harrison, allegedly arrived at the party already smelling of holiday spirits. Further, it is alleged that they were quite surprised that members of the Board of Trustees were present at the party. Allegedly, head of schools Harrison spent the evening propped up by a wall. Again, how interesting. Did the board pay attention to the condition of the head of school? Did anyone take notice of this? What is the board's reaction to this set of behaviors if he did arrive drunk or heavily under the influence prior to the start of the party? Allegedly, quite a few of the faculty left the party venue on Market Street after the party wound down and drove the 10 to 11 minutes to Office Administrator Lee Holt's private residence for a private after-hours party, where they were alleged to get further inebriated. Who drove the guests already under the influence to the after party? Who drove them home? If they were as trashed as it has been alleged, and they drove themselves home and did not call an Uber, etc., they are darn lucky they did not end up in a ditch wrapped around a tree, killing themselves or killing someone else. The Holts have 3 high school age students. This was the night before some important mid-year exams that the children should be studying for, and their house is allegedly filled with their teachers and administrators drinking and carousing. Now that is an example for the young ones, isn't it? Add to that these really impressionable young teens, perhaps with freshly minted driver's licenses, are witnessing role models of theirs who clearly drove under the influence to their home. Among those allegedly driving under the influence are their teachers, their coaches, and their school administrators. Frankly, I'm appalled that the adults did not bother to think before entering the house of students of Heritage Academy and partying on. Did they not think the kids would tell their friends? Do these adults, for a single minute, possess any common sense and professional decorum? The Holts clearly have the right to expose their children to whatever they think is appropriate. However, why would they set up their friends and colleagues for such exposure? Every one of these people had to get home from the after party. What was their blood alcohol content by the time they left for home? Were they legally below the limit to drive? The school again is lucky if no one got hurt someone else, or got arrested for a DUI yesterday. All the revelers also had to be at work again at 7:30 this morning. Were they even sober yet? I understand there were allegedly a lot of hungover educators in the buildings today, hosting class parties in the lower school and administering exams in the middle school and high school. I ask you, is this the behavior of adults you want as role models for your children? that is it for tonight. I said it would be short until the next time when I deliver a whole bunch of research I've recently gathered. This is the Tom Bigby Tales. Good night.